And we're live with another episode of BS Busters. And it's been a while. We've been a little blocked up, stopped up, however you want to say it.
Our previous BS Busters mini turned out ended longer than we anticipated.
Yeah, but we had some good conversation, so it was worth it. You know, it's like when you're hanging out. It's like when you're hanging out with your friends, and they're like, "Yeah, we're only going to be here for an hour," but then you guys get started on some shit, and it just the conversation is so good. You're there for like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, I've had that happen to me. When I was in high school, I had some good friends of mine, and basically we would basically hang out. Like we'd be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to be there," and then I wind up spending the night. So, you know it. And the same thing, they'd come to my house, they'd wind up spending the night because they were cool like that. How's it going, Kadoshi?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Well,
we just started the show.
You just started the show. You're here early. Or right on. You know, it's like that old saying they like to say about God in old black churches. God might not be there when you want him, but he's always right on time. Anyway, let's. Our topics for today are kind of light because we covered a lot of the big stuff in the middle of the week. But
what did you guys talk about? I wasn't here. I was doing other stuff.
You had business to tend to. But what we talked about in the middle of the week was the Google Stadia console. I'm using air quotes. You can't see me. Console.
The thing is, it's like. In this country, particularly, the infrastructure just isn't there yet for a cloud-based gaming service. And I was talking with a few people a few nights ago on Google Plus, and then just kind of on Hangouts, and it's like if Google, and he kept cutting out. It's like if Google can't get their voice IP stuff right, what makes you think they're going to get their gaming, all this gaming stuff there?
To be fair, I mean, I didn't know what it was. Like, I remember I told everyone that I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for free because I tested Google's streaming gameplay service. That was Stadia. I didn't know it at the time. It actually works pretty well. It works pretty well. But here's the thing. You have to have a good internet connection in order to use it. Like, you can't have, like, that fly-by-night 10 megabytes per second bullshit that some people have, or worse. So basically, if you live in the city or the suburbs and you have decent internet, it should be fine for you. But you're right that it's not going to hit everywhere. It's not for everybody. Like if you live in the mountains of Appalachia and you have shitty internet, I'm sorry, you still using dial-up. There's the local Blockbusters that's still in business because Netflix never made a dent because the internet sucks there. I mean, I don't know what to say to you. This product isn't for you. I mean, the John Metric.
Well, the thing is, I wish there was like a system where it could use some of your hardware rather than just solely relying on the cloud service. It uses a little bit of your hardware to, I don't know, a sort of like caching or like cookie system, maybe a more complex cookie system where everything is loaded onto your computer and it just
basically you want partial cloud computing and partial hardware.
Yeah, something like that. It probably could alleviate, you probably wouldn't have to use as much data every time you want to play a game.
Yeah, but that would require effort and time, money, and
what are these guys able to do?
They already spent all this. Google spent all this money on the cloud-based platform, which I'm going to keep it real. Google Cloud, pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, they give you. The thing I like about Google Drive is they give you 15 gigs for free.
Yeah, I mean, Google Cloud.
No other service does that.
Yeah, Google Cloud is pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like. I mean, we talked about it in the middle of the week, and everyone shit on me because I said, if Google said try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you don't have to have it. I tried it for like a month, and it was pretty good. I mean, like it wouldn't be my primary way of gaming, but if you live someplace that has decent internet and you want to take your game on the go, it would be nice. It's a nice feature to have. They were like, "Nah, I don't want it." I'm like, "God damn, that's cold. That's cold blooded.
Ice.
Ice." So my question to you from Wednesday, because you weren't there, if Google said, "Hey, you don't have to have Google Stadia, but if you tried it for free for like a month, you know, you have access to this library of games for a month, and it's like $10 or $15 after that, you know, if you want it, would you try it for free for a month?"
Well, if I had a crappy computer that couldn't run, you know, anything, I probably would. Yeah, I'll try it out. But I have a computer that can run pretty much about everything at like high ultra settings, so it's just kind of pointless right now for me. But it does seem like a good alternative if you have decent internet, but you can't afford a high-end computer. But
all right. So well, all right. So I'm the only one who actually would be willing to give Stadia a chance. And by the way, before anyone says any shit about me, I too have a gaming PC that can handle practically anything that's going to be coming out for the next 5 or 6 years. But
Few years.
I'll give it a shot. Shit, I don't give a shit.
yeah, how much is it going to cost them then?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there was a lot of information they didn't give people. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know what type of internet connection you need for the specs that you're aiming for. So, I mean, if you want like 1080p, 60 frames per second, I think you would just need a decent internet connection. But if you want more than that, it would probably be more. So I don't know. From what I tested, there is no lag. There is lag, but it's so small it's almost imperceptible, if you get what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
So this would, if you're playing a game that requires really quick twitch reflexes, like a fighting game, I would not use Google Stadia, even with the minute lag that it does have. But if you're playing like an RPG or a strategy game or some shit like that, it'd probably be perfect.
I mean, I tested out stuff like on live when that came out, and I was intrigued in that because I didn't have a gaming computer at the time. It's like, oh, I can play these games at, you know, high resolutions, and I can play this, you know, on my really low-end MacBook, and you know, I mean, it was all right for the time. I never put any money in it. I just like tested the demos and stuff like that. The problem with OnLive is that they still charge full price for the game, so it's like you'd still have to pay $60 to have access.
Yeah.
The problem with OnLive is it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, Sony bought it, and now it's part of their whatever the fuck online gaming thing, whatever. I can't keep up with all these acquisitions these companies are doing. But all right, okay. So I guess we can move on to the main topics of the podcast. For those of you who are watching, you can leave comments and questions in the comment section, and we will answer them because that's how we roll. That's how we roll sometimes.
And I think the main topic this round was about Sony, wasn't it?
Well, one more thing about OnLive. The problem with these services is that, you know, if they're gonna charge, if there's a separate option where you don't opt into the, you know, $9.99, $10, $15 a month premium plans, and you can just buy the games outright. You know, you spend 60, you know, times that by like, I don't know, let's just say 20 games. It's roughly around you know, 12,000, I think, somewhere. You know, and the service decides to shut down.
You're effed. Yeah, that's the problem with. That's the reason. That's one of the major flaws with the all digital, going all digital. And before people say we're not going, yes. In the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see digital is going to be the lion's share of purchases, and physical media is going to become like vinyl or VHS or Blu-ray, stuff like that. It's not going to go away, but it's going to be like a niche thing and not
harder to obtain.
No, it'll be there. It's just going to be very niche. It's like you get a Blu-ray for a movie that you love, but it's not as simple as just going to the store and finding it on a shelf. For some movies, it's going to be like, okay, I got to wait till they do a limited run, or I got to order it from the manufacturer or whatever, which isn't that bad of a thing. I mean, like here's the thing. Digital is great if you want your game now. Like, you don't want to wait for it to come to your store or whatever. You want it now. Digital is great. Like, in some games, they'll be released physically, but it's going to be years. Like, it's going to take, Blaster Master 0, 1, and 2, they'll probably do a dual collection of that, right? But I don't want to wait 3 or 4 years for them to make a physical release of that when I can just download the shit digitally now. You know what I mean?
Most of the desktop, like, say if you want to build your computer, a lot of the towers, a lot of the shells don't come with an optical drive.
Yeah, you gotta. The PC I bought now doesn't have an optical drive. I have to get like a USB CD drive.
Yeah, that's just where things are going.
Here's the thing. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying. I'm not one of those people's like, oh my God, how dare they do that? Personally speaking, I don't really care either way. I like physical. I do like physical media. I know some people are going to be like, yeah, I know people are going to get mad, but I'm not one of those people like physical only or nothing at all. Like, I'm not one of those people. I know people who are like that, like physical only or nothing at all. I'm not one of those people. There's a lot of people that are like that.
I was naming one example.
Yeah, like what?
The thing about never mind. I forgot what I was going to say. Go on. What were you going to say?
No, the thing is that I have nothing against I have nothing against people doing stuff, but it's like everyone has their own thing. But for me, I just like having this all or nothing attitude when it comes to products is not productive.
Yeah.
To me. Now, I know some people are going to be like, well, I want what I want when I want it, but you cut yourself off from experiences by having that attitude, which I know is amazing coming from me when I'm that way about certain things. So,
yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. The next topic we have in the comment section. Not the comment section. So I think we've kind of gone off. So let's talk about Sony blatantly ripping off Nintendo yet again.
Which I won't be seeing this Monday because I'll be away at that time.
Can we just keep it real and just tell the truth? No one needs to watch this shit.
What's going on? What are they doing?
Who does?
Okay, basically this Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Sorry, yeah, Pacific time and 5 p.m. East Coast time. Basically, they're doing they're having
Quote unquote
a
direct.
serve play thing, but it's basically a PlayStation Direct. Basically, is what the shit is.
Well, I've been helping people, and helping these companies would do something like that. Like, I don't mind if they're doing something like that.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, my whole point is that it's once again Sony just ripping off Nintendo because that's what they do. They love to do that all the time. Just no original thought, and they're gonna get praised for it. Oh, this is brilliant! They're saving so much money. It's like these motherfuckers are doing the same thing Nintendo does. And yet when Nintendo does it, it's like, well, you know, it doesn't really count because it's a digital presentation. You know what I mean? That double standard.
Yeah.
That old double standard that I'm tired of. I'm tired of the fucking double standard. Like it's not that they're doing it, it's the double standard that they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when they do it, it's brilliant, but when other people do it, like when Nintendo does a direct, people are like, yeah, it was kind of goofy and stupid. But Microsoft does a digital presentation, brilliant. Phil Spencer's knocking it out the park.
Such utter bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I mean, I have nothing against people having I have nothing against people having their own type of things they do. I have nothing against people doing what they do, but I mean, give people credit where credit's due, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. So what are your guys' thoughts on Sony having a direct type presentation that they didn't blatantly steal from Nintendo?
I take it this might be a reason why they're not participating in this year's E3.
They're not participating in this year's E3 because 3 reasons, in my humble opinion. First of all, they don't have any money.
I'm surprised that you said that line because, as far as I know, the GDP of Japan is their piggy bank.
No, they have government loans that have helped them keep afloat, but that's not what I mean. Basically, when you own a business, you allocate certain funds for certain things throughout, like at the beginning of your fiscal year, like in my case, like okay, I know that the biggest time I make money is during the summer, fall, and winter. Spring, not so much. Right, spring's not my big time. That's not the time where I make a lot of cash. So for me, like basically, that's my So for me, like when I create my events that basically are going to bring in people to come and buy drinks that are going to make me money, like I allocate a certain amount of funds for those things. Sony, their entertainment, their money that was going to go to E3 got put into Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima, the guy who basically spent all that fucking
movie game. You mean that movie game that's supposed to be the biggest comeback of the movie gamer himself?
No, I don't call it a movie game. I call it What the Fuck, the game. Because that demo was what the fuck. But anyway, Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding, aka What the Fuck, the game. So basically, like, what the fuck, the game came out, and I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but Sony has put a lot of money. They've given Hideo Kojima a lot of money to make that game. The money that would have been put into E3. Plus, they're probably going to announce their own new console coming out next year anyway. And so basically, a lot of the games that they were going to announce for this year, and you notice a lot of games that are supposed to come out for the PS5 are getting pushed back and stuff like that because it's gonna be a dual release on the PS4 and whatever Sony's next console is gonna be called. Okay, that is what's happening. Okay, so those are the reasons Sony's not coming to E3. The money's been the allocated funds have been taken away and put into Hideo Kojima's bullshit. Like a lot of the games that they were going to show, like why show games that are going to get delayed and put onto the next console any fucking way? You know what I mean?
They've done it before and got away with it.
Not really. They've done it and people were like, that's bullshit. The only company that I've seen that can show a game that's going to be dual released on a current gen and next gen console is Nintendo with their Zelda games, because Zelda games are such a fucking event that they can get away with it. But no one else can really get away with showing a game and then that game never comes out on that console and it just shows up on another console. Except for Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 3, motherfuckers. But anyway, that game skipped 2 whole console gens. But anyway, you know, that's just my own personal opinion. I know some people are going to get angry when they hear that because people love to get mad about shit all the time.
I'm trying not to hit my head to the wall right now for that stunt.
People get mad all the time. People love to get angry about shit. That's human behavior.
Believe me,
Yeah.
I've seen this a lot lately on YouTube, Discord, Facebook, YouTube, 4chan.
You repeated.
Sorry.
No, it bears repeating. People get mad all the time. People love to get angry and pissed off and all that fun shit. So, like me personally, I don't really care that Sony is stealing shit from Nintendo. I just want people to acknowledge that they're stealing shit from Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want people to say, hey, they stole that idea from Nintendo. Yeah, they did. And Nintendo did it first.
Yep.
So now we got that out the way. Get to the next topic. The Epic Games Store. Still getting exclusives through some very shady means.
Yeah, and I've been trying to talk with a certain doctor about that, and he's been saying that, well, competition is still competition.
Yeah, that's not competition. Competition is you come out with a product, they come out with a product, and then you basically refine your products. Epic's Game Store isn't coming out with a product. They're basically just stealing. It's like they're literally going and stealing the manufacturers, stealing the merchants from another store. Like if another supermarket opened up and they said, they basically started doing these weird exclusivity project things where it's like, we can't sell Oreos anymore because the other supermarket pulled Oreos from our shelves. We can't sell Coke anymore. The other stole the Coke, got Coke exclusivity off our shelf. Like that's some bullshit, you know. And that's basically what's going on with the Game Store.
And in fact, this is the exact thing that he told me when I was saying that there's such a thing as, when I said there's such a thing as good competition and there's competition that's not healthy for the industry. And I got this in response. Quote, still, there is no cost to use Epic as opposed to GOG or Steam. It is like choosing to browse the web using Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. Right. I'm going to get back to that.
That doesn't make any sense because he's making it sound like there's a cost to use GOG or Steam when there isn't. They're all free. They're all free services. It's just one has a massive library of games, one has a small library of older games, and one has has the smallest library of games, but they're buying exclusives of second, third tier big titles. And that's at the Epic Gaming Store.
Reason why I said I get back to that line. And resuming, while you may dislike one and or prefer another, there is no cost to having to use one because the website you want to visit is exclusive. All you have to do as a consumer is download the other launcher. Unquote.
No. So the thing is like, I mean, like, here's the thing. For me, I've had my account hacked.
He missed my line entirely.
For me,
there is such a thing as bad competition.
Well, there is a cost, and the cost is that, like, for me personally, I had my account hacked by the Epic Game Store. So, like, I'm not going to use Epic. Like, I won't. I will not.
Has Steam ever been hacked before?
Yeah, but like when your shit gets hacked on Steam, they change, like they let you know, and it's so quick, and there's no like transactions and shit like that being done on you. With the Epic hack, I had people trying to get my password so that they could charge a lot of money on my account because it was linked to my Epic Game Store thing was also linked to my Google ID, which is also linked to my financial information because I do a lot of transactions online. Okay. Yeah. At the time, now I have that thing where it basically creates like a new card every time, but it's linked to your main account. So, like, even if they did get my information for that website, it's not going to go to my stuff. But this was before then, and I've seen cases. You can go look it up where people have had their account hacked on the Epic Game Store and basically have had charges done, and Epic giving them the fucking runaround to refund their money. So, I mean, like I said, there's some things where I'm like, okay, I can understand this, and there's some time where I'm like, okay, this is some bullshit right here. And for me, what Epic is doing is kind of bullshit. I know they're trying to get their foot in the door, but ultimately, I don't think they're going to be able to beat Steam.
Yeah. I just think Steam just has too much notoriety right now, or too much.
Well, I mean, Steam just has too many games.
Yeah. It's both a good and a bad thing.
Which is, I mean, it's a bad thing because it's hard to moderate. But like, literally, like, okay, if Epic did what, if Epic would put their dick back in their pants and quit waving it around and do what GOG did, where you could migrate your Steam games to GOG, it wouldn't be a thing. But they keep on antagonizing the big fat kid on the playground. And I don't know about you, but I've seen the big fat kid that people keep on fucking with beat somebody's ass if you keep on fucking with them enough.
In short, you do stupid, you get what's coming to you.
And I'm not saying that Steam is perfect, but it isn't. But I can tell you right now, I've got 250 games on Steam. 253 games on Steam. I've got like 1 on Epic. I've got 7 on Uplay, and I've got how many games do I have on?
And we lost somebody.
Oh, Kenoshi.
He'll be back.
Some technical difficulties.
I've got like 24 games on GOG. So which one has my biggest library of games? Just on, you know, you can pretty much figure that shit out. Is Steam, right? Like if I'm gonna be gaming, it's probably gonna be on Steam. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Epic needs to stop waving their dick around. And be cool. Trinell83 has a question. Will Epic be able to carve a market for themselves to be sustainable, though? See, that's the thing. Epic right now, the reason Epic can do this is because they're making so much money off of Fortnite. Here's the problem. Eventually, Fortnite is not going to be hot anymore. And
Welcome back, Kenoshi.
Epic's going to be able, like, eventually, Fortnite is not going to be hot. Its revenue generation is going to go down. So the thing is, can they build a big enough market right now to be sustainable? I don't know if they can.
Yeah, this whole store exclusive thing is dumb. You should be able to migrate anything to whichever storefront you want to.
Well, I mean, depending on like, okay, it's harder for you to migrate shit from Steam to GOG because GOG's big thing is that it's good old games. If the old ass game isn't on Steam and it's only on GOG, then you're probably only going to be able to get it from GOG. So it makes sense that you couldn't migrate it over there.
Well, but if GOG is kind of different. They're kind of a specialty store.
Yeah. So if you have something that's like, if you have something that's only like, I mean, you're right. If you have something that's modern, you should be able to migrate it any fucking place you want. Like if I buy a game on the Epic Games Store, I should be able to take it over to, Steam and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
But will Epic be able to make a sustainable market? I mean, here's the thing. Like right now, like here's the thing. I hate to use this example, but it's really apt. Right now, Epic is like Japan during Pearl Harbor. And Steam is like America, okay? Right? But here's the thing, okay? No matter how badass Epic thinks they are with their Pearl Harbor maneuver, at the end of the day, they're still going up against a massive juggernaut like Steam, okay? And once Steam gets their shit together, Epic might well and truly be fucked. And if Steam really wants to kick Epic down a flight of steps, all they have to do is announce 3 atomic bomb level games. Okay, Fat Man and Little Boy. Okay, plus the experimental Portal 3, HalfLife 3, and Left 4 Dead 3. And here
they need to learn to count to 3.
And just to kick Epic in the nuts, just be like, hey, and guess what? They're exclusive to Steam. and that'd be the end of the Epic Game Store right there.
I mean, all they need to do is count to 3 and that.
I mean, would that be the end of it all? Would that be the end of the Epic Game Store?
No, but it will give them a serious downgrade.
It's like, I mean, yeah, this shit's nice, but I want Portal 3.
Yeah.
And I want Half-Life 3. I want, Left 4 Dead 3. Like, that's all Steam has to do. And just make them exclusive to the Steam store, which, I mean, a lot of games like Half-Life, yeah, you can get the physical version, but if you want to play, all that other shit, just make it Steam and you're done. But that's my own personal opinion. I know some people are going to get angry when they hear that because people get mad about everything because,
Mm-hmm.
that's my own personal. Anyone else?
I just think that having all these launchers and whatnot, you shouldn't have to, for Ubisoft or Uplay shouldn't have to open up when you launch a Ubisoft game. It should just open the game. Like Uplay can exist or whatever if they have special deals or specialty offers that they can't do through Steam or whatever. They much rather do it through their own store. I get it, but you shouldn't have to open up. You shouldn't have to push play on a game, then it opens up to you play, and then you can play your game. I think that's just completely weird.
You're right. And I'm not going to lie about it. You're absolutely right.
So we're going to discuss about the other presentation, Microsoft's indie showcase.
I mean, I didn't think anyone gave a shit about Microsoft's indie showcase, but go ahead. You need to talk about it.
I mean, wait, it started already? I thought
no,
it was...
I said I didn't know anyone gave a shit about it, but you can talk about it if you want to.
This'll be fun.
Well, I haven't yet.
All right.
And I don't have any full thoughts on it, to be honest.
Yeah, that was my point. I'm like, did anyone give a shit about the Microsoft Indie Conference? I mean, like, here's the thing. It's just Microsoft copying Nintendo. Do I really give a shit about? I mean, because Microsoft copies other companies badly, so.
If anything, I really don't know what they're planning to do next. But if anything, copying Nintendo is likely the best thing for them.
Yeah. I mean, my real problem with Microsoft's indie showcase is that I just I don't care. Because here's the thing. Almost all the games that are coming out are going to also be on PC. I have a gaming PC, so why the fuck should I care if they're like, well, it's coming to Microsoft first? Yeah, but all your shit's going to be on PC, so it's not really exclusive, so what the fuck do I care? The
only reason that you would care, basically to see what they're going to bring over to the PC.
And even then, there are other outlets for that. Like, I found out Vampire the Masquerade 2, Bloodlines. Sorry, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out. And I found out the hardest way because I opened up my Steam account, and boom, there it was. And I was like, oh my God. It was like that song by Andy Samberg. Not like a boss, the one where he does something in his pants. But, but my point is this, or we're on a boat, which is also a fun song. But my point is like, it's like, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, Microsoft's like, yeah, we have games too. Yeah, whatever. That's basically how I feel about Microsoft right now.
I was about to say, that nobody, that's like somebody in the back row saying that we got something neat back here.
Yeah.
Nobody giving a beep about it.
I mean, let me put it this way, okay? It's like, okay, where I live, there's this pizza place called Matchbox, okay? It's a chain, but it's like a really, really good chain. Okay, like they cook their pizza in a wood fire oven, so it gets nice and charred, but not like too charred. Nice and crispy crust with the really good cheese and great topping. It's fucking delicious, right? And it's a great slice of pizza. All right, and it's like me eating like it's it's like the top 3 pizzas in the area, right? And I'm eating at Matchbox. Then some other motherfucker says, "Hey, but there's a Pizza Hut down the street." I don't give a shit. I'm eating good pizza. I don't want your shit. That's basically how I feel about Microsoft having an indie conference. I mean, an indie conference. They're like, "Yeah, we got indies too." I don't give a shit. I mean, they're all basically the same games anyway, more or less. The only way I would care about Microsoft's indie conference is if all I had was an Xbox. But since I have multiple consoles, I'm like, don't give a shit. Well, I have a Nintendo and a PC, which is basically like having multiple consoles. So I don't give a shit. No shit's given. But anyway,
what is it?
Let's get to the next bit of news. And if you're watching, if you want to ask some questions, leave them in the comment section. Not the comment section, the chat. The chat. Misspoke there for a second. Sorry.
It happens.
So our next little bit of news is the return of gaming's most infamous Western-style RPG, made by Troika Studios. Which Troika Studios, believe it or not, is one of the branches of Vigil Entertainment. They're the people who made the original Fallout, stuff like that. And some of those people split off and created Obsidian, and then some of those other people split off and made Troika. Troika made such RPGs like the Temple of Elemental Evil and some other stuff. I think they did Dungeons and Dragons Daggerfall. But they made a little game that would have been the first Source Engine 2 game in existence, except they had to push their game back by a week in order to let Half-Life 2 get it first. No, the original Half-Life, sorry. And this little company, this little game was called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And it was a buggy ass game at launch. Actually, like just fucking horrible. But thanks to the modding community and it having such charm despite it being kind of broken, it's been patched and buffed and teased and polished to the point that it's a really fun little game. And I'm really ecstatic that, my God, they're making a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. So
after how long?
Almost 20 years. It doesn't come out till next year, so 21 years. It's almost 20 years once that shit goes down. Which I'm kind of sad because, you know, I like Vampire the Masquerade. It's one of my favorite games. So with that being said, what game has recently been announced that makes you say, "My God, they're making a sequel to this. I can't believe it."
Hard call. I mean, if anything, I think you took one of those yourself earlier in time with Radiant Historia.
What, if they made a sequel to that?
Yep.
I'd like a sequel to that.
I would say the game Psychonauts 2, and that was announced a few years ago.
Really? I never would have taken you to be a Psychonauts fan. Because so many people I know are like, man, fuck Double Fine. I'm like, yeah, you might not.
That game was great. That game was great back in the time. I was excited when I first heard about I first played that game. That was a good game. I mean, it was rough. Definitely at the time. I mean, it's a rough around the edges platformer, but it was really imaginative and it was really, it's something different.
Yeah, and the characters are memorable.
Yeah.
Like it has really memorable characters, like Linda the lungfish, and Eduardo the painter, who and Ralph Bonaparte, who's a descendant of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah.
West, who's an actress / singer who has crippling self-doubt. She's her worst critic. I mean, it's just the game. Like Psychonauts is not perfect, but the game has so many really good ideas that I'm just glad they made a sequel. I was like, my God, it took so many years, but they finally are making a sequel. Now all we need is a sequel to Brutal Legend and Stacking, and we're ready.
I have Brutal Legends. I just haven't gotten around to playing it.
It's
it's all right.
I mean, here's the thing. When you first play the game, you think it's going to be this open world action adventure, but it's actually a strategy game. It's an action adventure strategy game.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I didn't like Psychonauts. When you first play Psychonauts, you think, oh, this is like an open world collectathon game with Double Fine's signature sense of humor. No, it's an adventure game. It's like a modern take on a adventure game, like a LucasArts adventure game, except instead of point and click, there's more action involved with it. But it's an adventure game, which I think is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So when people tell me adventure games are dead, no, they aren't.
Yeah. They've just taken on different forms.
But we haven't heard what you would consider to be a game. If it came back, you'd be like, "Oh my God, it came back, Pinky."
Oh, me? A game that would come back after so long.
Yeah, if they made a sequel to this game, you'd be like, "Oh my God, I just in my bed." You don't have to do that. But.
Let's see. Which game that will get me shocked if the sequel was ever made? Probably a sequel to Pokemon Snap.
Really? Why would that be shocking? Although, really, they missed their opportunity with the Wii U because that would have been perfect for Pokemon Snap.
Because of previous interviews from Game Freak about having no plans for a sequel because of various reasons, like how the camera is now everywhere and losing its specialty. Since back when Pokemon Snap was developed, cameras were only
rarity
for rich.
Well, they weren't for the rich, but
hardly anyone owned a camera at that time.
It's like people use the camera for special occasions.
Yeah.
Because every family had a camera, but it was like my kid's having a graduation, or there's a birthday party, or we're going to an amusement park, or going to the beach. I still say you could do a Pokemon Snap. Except up the ante and make the Pokemon attack people.
Yeah.
Because in Pokemon Snap you could throw rocks at the Pokemon and food and stuff like that. If you annoy the Pokemon enough, they'll attack you like lions in the African safari. Like, oh god! And don't call it Pokemon Snap. Call it Pokemon Safari. Oh, it's a Charizard. Oh
Yeah.
god! A big bird alive! Ah! You died
Yeah.
on Pokemon Safari.
Yeah.
Also-
Hello, Mr. Crude.
And also a sequel to Glover, since since plans for that sequel got canceled.
I'd like a
development.
sequel. Hell, I'd like a Bait and Kato sequel. And I know some people want to say, "What about Bait and Kato's Origins?" That game was a fucking
Mess.
well, I mean that, but it also was a prequel, and I hate prequels.
Prequels are hit and miss with me. It depends on how they do it.
Now, me personally, I hate prequels. I'm not a prequel person. I don't like them. No, sir, I don't like them. Not one bit. I don't like prequels. I don't like them.
Hello, Mr. Horse.
But no, I don't like prequels. I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, "What do you mean you don't like prequels?" I don't like them. You know, there's a lot of stuff.
A Link to the Past is a prequel. I mean, you gotta hate it as well.
A Link to the Past is a prequel to what?
It's a prequel to the original Legend of Zelda.
A Link to the Past? No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, even before the Zelda timeline was official, it was considered.
It is not a prequel to the original Legend of Zelda. And don't say, well, that's what they said in the Hyrule Historia.
No, it was before the Hyrule Historia. Even James Rolfe confirmed it in his chronologically confused video that was A Link to the Past was supposed to be a prequel to the first two games.
Supposed to be, but it wasn't. All that timeline shit is bullshit anyway. The timeline shit is shit that they made up because people kept on bugging them about it. Well, when does this take place? When does this take place? It doesn't matter when it takes place. The Legend of Zelda is like how Final Fantasy used to be. It takes a series of tropes that are familiar, and it rearranges them in new and interesting ways to create new.
Also, Dragon Quest III is a prequel to the first two Dragon Quest games.
Yeah, but that makes sense because it literally the ending of that game is you getting stuck in Alefgard and becoming like leaving descendants there, leaving your armor there, and basically you come to the realization, oh shit, this whole big thing is leading up to this. That was the whole point of the original Dragon Quest trilogy. But there's no indication that Link to the Past is a prequel to the original Legend of Zelda or the Adventure of or the Legend of Zelda 2. Except what someone said.
I mentioned Dragon Quest 3 because you mentioned about hating prequels, yet Dragon Quest 3 is a prequel itself.
Not really. I mean, it is a prequel, but you'd have to actually learn. You'd actually have to know some shit in order to figure that out. And most people are not like most people aren't going to play the original Legend of Zelda. You know what I mean? I mean the original. They're not going to play the original.
Legend of Zelda, or
I mean, they're not going to play
Ocarina of Time.
They're not going to play the first two. Dragon Quest. When I say I hate prequels, I should clarify that. I hate prequels that basically take the original lore and shit on it, or make some weird change that like shits on what the original established. Which I don't like, which I see a lot of games do in prequels. Not all the time, but quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Joel, do you know any games that you'll be shocked if it had a sequel announced?
That's a tricky question because if anything, I'm mostly I mostly enjoy the games that come out when they do, at least for me. So if we ever get a sports collection put into one game entirely, I actually would be surprised, and I would say that would be the Mario sports games,
Yeah,
like the striker, the baseball, that kind of thing.
I would love another Mario. I would love. You know what I would like? And I don't know if they'd ever make this game, but it would. If they made it, I would. I would lose my shit. Mario. Mario football, not soccer. Football.
Yeah, that would have been the real surprise for some people.
I would love to see that. I would love to see a Mario football. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a Mario football game?
Oh yeah, that would have been rich.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Could you imagine building a team of like you go around the Mushroom Kingdom? It's an arcade style game, but you go around like recruiting characters to be on your football team. Like you get for a linebacker, you get like Donkey Kong or Charging Chuck. Some of the Koopa kids, maybe Boom Boom or that female Boom Boom whose name I forgot.
Pom Pom.
Yeah. You can get like your quarterback. Your quarterback could be Mario, or you can make Mario into the coach and then make someone else the quarterback, like Toad or one of those dry bones. You know, you can make your wide receiver a Lakitu, a Yoshi, which is great because Yoshi has that tongue, so he can catch like insane throws. Yeah, I think that would be an awesome game. But that's just me. I don't know if it would happen, but I would lose my shit. I'd be like, oh my God, they've made a Legend of Zelda game that I would totally. I mean, they've made that game, and think about it. You could use Amiibo to unlock special characters. Like you could get Link.
Yeah, you can, or maybe Donkey Kong would already be in the game.
Yeah. But you could get like Link, and when he throws the ball, like his special thing, like basically like you get kind of like how they have the star thing in the tennis, the Mario tennis titles, where like basically like he puts the ball, like he charges up the ball, like he charges up the Master Sword, and he throws it, and if anyone tries to intercept it, like and it's an enemy, well obviously it's interception, it's an enemy, so it's the opposing team, like they can't touch it, and they just get stunned or knocked out or something.
Yeah,
I think that'd be awesome. You know, Mario's big thing is that he lights the ball on fire if he's the QB and he throws it. So it's like one of those fireballs. His offensive maneuver to slip a tackle would be his cape flip from Super Mario World.
yeah. Yeah, you need to get like an American studio, I guess, to make it, because I don't know if the Japanese probably aren't too into football, American football. So.
They're into it. They made that fucking. what was the name of that anime? Shit, I forgot the name of that anime. They made. It's on the tip of my tongue. They made Eye Shield 21.
Yeah.
And Eye Shield 21 is a football anime, so.
That's a weird thing to hear out of you guys. A football anime.
Yeah, but it's actually.
But overseas, the overseas outside of the U.S., it might be called a rugby anime.
No, it's football. It's like straight up football. Like.
Oh, you mean soccer?
No, I mean American football. Like they're playing football. The whole anime is them playing football. Like Eye Shield 21's the main character, and he's this kid who becomes a running back. He's an insanely good running back. Like he can slip tackles and dodge stuff. The anime teaches you about football, teaches you about spear tackles, football maneuvers, plays, terminology. It's really good, and it has one of the best anime themes ever. It's really good.
I didn't know that. I know they made an anime about basketball, but I didn't know they made one about American football.
Yeah, the anime about basketball not that good, but the anime about football is off the chain. And just look up the Eye Shield 21 running theme. It's badass as fuck. I mean, I'm not gonna put it up there with the Superman theme, but it's pretty damn badass.
Well, sounds pretty cool. Maybe you should get. Maybe you could get a Japanese developer to make something like that.
They could do it if they cared, but keyword if they care, because they probably don't. They're like, I don't feel comfortable doing this because it's American football. I don't really.
All this from me wanting the sports collection of the Mario games in one package.
All of them?
Well, all the ones that they crafted so far, in a sense.
Well, that means
they would have strikers and the baseball games, at least.
Yeah, but we'd also have to have Mario NBA, the Mario NBA game, and that they'd have to go to EA for that. And fuck EA.
I mean the one that's were exclusive to Nintendo, as in all the characters are from Nintendo series.
That was exclusive to Nintendo. It had Nintendo characters in it. Like Mario was a playable character. And
as in
Luigi.
I mean as in no characters from outside of the world of Mario, which would be a different task, but I get what you're saying though.
All right, okay.
Because I was saying Nintendo characters exclusively.
All right, okay. Well,
what did you guys think?
You're trying to add in the other characters.
That's what I'm saying. That's the game I'm talking about. That game was made by EA, but it just had Mario characters in it playing basketball, and I thought it was pretty good. I know some people didn't like it, but I don't give a shit. I liked it.
Is that 3-on-3 game? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mario 3-on-3 or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
For the DS?
Oh, it was also for the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the GameCube version was pretty nice.
So what do you guys think Sony's going to talk about at the big? Do you think they're going to talk about, are they going to bring up the PlayStation 5?
Probably Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, that other zombie game whose name I forgot.
Yeah, they're probably going to bring up some games.
And the Final Fantasy VII remake.
People are going to, jizz their pants about it. And they're not going to talk about the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh man, what is going on with Final Fantasy VII? Have Square said anything about that game since
Since 2015, nope.
No, they've made about as much noise about that game as a rat that farts. And rats fart very quietly. As a matter of fact, you can't even hear them. Yeah, they fart very, very quietly indeed. And am I happy about that?
I don't know.
Not exactly.
It's not really. I like Final Fantasy VII is just
Overrated trash.
Game. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. I think it's just overrated. I think Final Fantasy VII.
They should have stuck with a 16-bit-esque art style for that game for starters. I mean, I guess we could talk about the script, but man, those graphics do not hold up.
It's not even the graphics.
At the time.
For me, Final Fantasy VII is basically like a lesser Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Just in 3D. Like basically, it has a shittier villain than Final Fantasy VI. It has a shittier cast than Final Fantasy VI. The world isn't as interesting as Final Fantasy VI. Like the side characters aren't as interesting as Final Fantasy VI. It's like Final Fantasy VII is like, hey, it's like Final Fantasy VI, but not as good. I mean, I don't care how much people love Sephiroth. He doesn't hold a candle.
Probably because those people never played Final Fantasy VI. Since JRPGs were a niche back then, and still are today.
I mean, I don't care how much you love Sephiroth. He doesn't hold a fucking candle to Kefka.
What I don't understand about people who are nostalgic about Final Fantasy VII is, the thing is, I'm nostalgic about Dragon Ball Z, but I can admit that Ettore Kiriyama is not a very good writer.
No. To be fair, I'm going to keep it real. Believe it or not, one of the most well-written anime series / mangas I've read or watched is One Piece.
Yeah.
Because every character has their time to shine. Like Luffy is badass, but he has major weaknesses that kind of, mean that he's not all around. Like he can't fucking swim because he ate the fruit of the devil. So it's kind of hard to be captain. To be a pirate captain in a world filled with water, and you can't fucking swim. That's kind of, it's a little.
Of course, so do his enemies with devil fruit powers.
That is true. That is true. But he's got someone who can cover that for him. You've got Roronoa Zoro, who is. He's a badass.
He's a beeping swordsman that could use 3 blades.
He's a badass swordsman who, see, that's the thing. That's only in the first arc. After they do that time jump, he gets the ability to do the Ashura stance, which lets him use 6.
Yeah, I'm surprised that. I wonder if there's like a cursed fruit that binds you to water, like. Does the opposite.
It makes sense.
Forever, but you can't go on land.
Well, there is a devil fruit that gives you bubble abilities.
It could be, but they haven't discovered it yet. But Roronoa Zoro's badass. This dude trains himself by swinging a training sword that has like tons of weight on it, but he swings around casually like it's nothing, like 100, 200, 300 times. In a training in a set, and yet he has a shitty sense of direction.
And you just had to bring that up.
Yeah, then you've got Sanji, who is a great chef, and like is really good at martial arts, but he's also kind of a lecherous asshole. Then you've got Usopp, who like is really good with projectile weapons. He's also physically kind of weak. Then you've got Robin, who, Nami, who, I mean, she's kind of hot. I mean, that's she doesn't really have it. She's just kind of hot. That's her thing.
And she uses a device that controls weather.
Yeah, but that was made by Usopp. That's not her thing. Her thing is that she's the map person. She can read the map and make the map. She's the cartographer. Then you've got Robin, who she ate the fruit of the devil fruit. She can create phantom arms that can beat people up and kick their ass and trick people. But her big thing is that she likes to use her phantom arm to grab their chief engineer, Frankie,
by the balls
and squeeze, because that's the only part of Frankie who is he's more machine than man. Frankie, by the one part of him that's still, or one of the few parts that's still human, his balls. Oh, poor Frankie. The only complication is that Robin's kind of hot, so.
Then you got Chopper.
If you're gonna have your balls grabbed by a woman, at least let it be a hot woman.
Then you got Chopper, who is their medic.
Chopper, their medic, who's also a reindeer. He's also a reindeer. Then you've got the guy who's their music guy, a skeleton dude. I've never seen him fight. He just pops up and like,
he's a sword fighter.
Yeah, but he's not a swordsman like
Zoro.
Zoro. He's like a bard from D&D, where he plays music, but he can also get himself out of a sticky situation. Let's see who else. Didn't the blue guy join them?
I don't know if Hancock joined the Straw Hat crew or not.
I don't know, but anyway, my point is this: they all have their moments to shine. Every character has their moment where they get to be badass and be cool. Then you have Dragon Ball Z, where unless you're Goku, you don't get to do anything cool after the Frieza saga.
Yeah, after the Frieza saga, everybody was rendered useless.
Like even Gohan, poor Gohan got to kill Cell, and then as soon as he killed Cell, they had the time jump, and it once again became the Goku show, which is just, I'm like, you had this moment where this character had a fucking awesome character arc, and you ruined it.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably. I think I heard from a video regarding Gohan's character arc is that because Akira Toriyama was having trouble how to write a certain story genre revolving around Gohan.
Because he cannot write.
He can't write. It's easy. It would have been easy. You had to, would have had Gohan struggling to live in the shadow of his dad, and his dad would have died, and ultimately
now he's got to step up. But like the big thing would have been like people like, well, your father wouldn't have done this. Your father wouldn't have done this. It's like, I'm not my father. You know, like that would have been the big thing, him establishing himself as his own character. And it would have been awesome that you could have had this awesome fight between him and Vegeta, because Vegeta's a raging asshole. He needs to die.
But we can't because we don't want the Saiyan bloodlines to go extinct.
With all the fucked up shit Saiyans have done, I think it would be good if that bloodline died off.
No, I don't. I want all bloodlines to be preserved, including the Uchiha clan from the Naruto.
No, end it.
There's some bloodlines that don't need to exist anymore.
End it. Just end that shit. End it right there. That would have been awesome. Matter of fact, you could have had a whole thing where, like, basically, like, you could have had like Vegeta does that shit where I'm the prince of all Saiyans. You know, that's only like 2 people now that my dad's dead, right? You fucking idiot. Well, You know, you could have had the Majin thing, except there's no Goku, so Gohan would have had to step up, kill Vegeta, and now Trunks grows up hating Gohan, and then they have their own thing going on. That would have been an awesome some really awkward stuff going on. That could have been fucking awesome, but no. It became Dragon Ball Z has become the let's jerk off Goku because Goku. Oh, and did I forget to mention Goku show, which was fine and dandy in Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball is the story of Goku, but there's other fucking characters in this series. So, anyway, I mean, the same thing happened in Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto had that same problem. Like you had the first series when they were kids was, you know, it was well paced. It wasn't, and everyone it was pretty decent. I liked how they toned down the action and from Dragon Ball Z
had their chance to shine. Every character had to shine, and then Shippuden initially was relatively well balanced, but then it fell apart at the end because they wanted to make it about friendship and all that bullshit.
Well, the thing is, I remember you argued that it became more about the Uchiha, and I would say it became more about the Jinchuriki. Like it was all of the obsession over the eyes and the Jinchuriki. Those were like the two things that matter.
It became more about Naruto and Sasuke versus what it should have been. And it even fucked up its own lore because the whole point about doing all of this is that Naruto wants to become Hokage. So then the one dude who was trying to destroy the village, the one who Uchiha left, who still was like, yeah, I'm going to destroy the village of the Hidden Leaf. It's like, well, you want to be Hokage, you're going to have to kill this fucker. No, we're friends. Are you fucking insane?
All it turns out.
I mean, he already stated that how can he become a Kage if he can't save his own friend?
Yeah, but
that's
like,
stupid.
How in the world can you how can you at the end of the series it turns out that this rivalry existed because they were the reincarnation of the two brothers, and I'm just kind of like, this is dumb. This is a cop out.
Yeah, that was a real cop out.
Yeah, it was some bullshit. Like I said, I mean, I could have here's the thing. First of all, which lets me know that when the guy who created Naruto said, "Yeah, I have an idea for the ending in my head already," he was lying. He was fucking fucking lying. He was lying his ass off. Now, if the dude who writes One Piece said, "I have an idea for the ending in my head," I'd believe him because you know what? Almost like, yes, One Piece is like in the 800s, 900s chapters right now. But you know what? Every character has had their own moment to shine. There's been plot development. Characters have fallen. Characters have died. And when people die in One Piece, their asses are dead.
They're dead.
They're gone. Like when Ace died, Ace is dead.
Yeah.
And Ace was cool, but he's dead.
So there was this stereotype of how in One Piece, how throughout One Piece nobody actually dies unless they're from a flashback.
Ace died. Whitebeard died.
I think the reason that Dragon Balls exist is because Akira Toriyama is too afraid to kill off his characters.
Yeah. No, the Dragon Balls exist because they're the MacGuffin. They're the MacGuffin that makes everything. They're the MacGuffin that propels the story forward.
Yeah,
and that trope worked for like 5, 6,
a few episodes.
It worked throughout Dragon Ball, except for the last saga, which is the last tournament saga, where you have one of the best. I swear, the final tournament in Dragon Ball where it culminates with Piccolo versus Goku. That's still a really good fight because the fight could have gone either way. It wasn't like a definitive Goku won or definitive Piccolo won. That fight could have gone either fucking way. And that's why it's an awesome fight. And not that bullshit that they pulled in Naruto Shippuden where it's like, oh, well, you know, the gods came and fought. And did not Joe free card this shit.
And how they handled Madara Uchiha, who at that point in time was the most overpowered character.
Yeah,
he wrote.
I mean, I've seen. I mean, there were other manga series that handled the most OP villains. That, like in JoJo Part 2, Cars is by far the most OP character villain throughout the series, and Joseph found a way to beat him by setting him into outer space.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, here's the thing. What Naruto was working towards before they fucked it up in the latter half of Shippuden is Naruto and the nine-tailed demon fox within him were supposed to fuse together. So basically, like, he would become this like super super ninja.
Super being.
Yeah, this heightened existence super being, and that was supposed to be the answer. But because they made Madara Uchiha so fucking powerful, and they didn't know, like, the guy didn't know how to fix it, so he just like, well, I'll MacGuffin the shit out of it. You know, I'll use the get out of jail free card, which fucked up the whole thing because, you know.
And in Hunter x Hunter, they have another most OP villain in the series, but the author found a way to kill him by having him get sick from the aftermath.
Yeah, I hate that. It's so lazy. I hate it.
That's bad writing.
So overpowered that they're impossible. Like, I more like a character that the other characters are in this sort of illusion. Or this illusion that this character is overpowered, but like the audience sees like a fatal flaw within the character that the characters don't see, or something like that, rather than just, oh, we're just going to create an overpowered character because, you know, we want cool stuff to happen.
Yeah. But really, the best villains are the ones that challenge the hero to raise their game.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Frieza did the first time he fought Goku before he went Super Saiyan. Yeah, they stretched out that fight, but the whole time it was just a series of escalation, right? Like Goku was like, yeah, I'm badass. I'm using the Kaioken times 10 right now, all the time. And he realizes this ain't shit. This dude's still kicking my ass. So he's forced to get stronger. And then when even that doesn't work, he's still forced to get stronger. And then, you know, the whole thing is just a series of escalation. And that was awesome. And then they fucked it up because, you know, there was no character growth, which bothers me. I hate that. But anyway,
I guess we can move on to talk about some gaming news we haven't discussed from this week.
Sure.
Well, there is one gaming news I want to discuss from PS Mini, but we ran out of time because we were dragging it along with other topics.
Go ahead.
A Sega Saturn title called Super Rio Mahjong PV was temporarily pulled from the Japanese Switch eShop just to give it minor censorship in order to be put back on eShop.
That's amazing. Because with some of the shit we've been getting on the Switch eShop, and this one, because it had some cleavage and some breasts, was a little too much.
And
really?
it got censored?
It's basically it's just a poker game where if you win, the girls just remove all their clothing until
undress.
Yeah.
like I said, they were some breasts were a little too much, really.
Because Zero has a strict no nipples policy for any non-Z rating game in Japan, which explains why you don't see nipples in M-rated games, M-rated Japanese made games like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, or any of Atlus's M-rated games like Persona and Capcom.
Like I said, a little like really breasts were too much. I mean, Jesus, the world is
whereas here in the U.S., you can still show nipples even on an M-rated title.
The world needs to get over their fear of breasts. All right. Because, I mean, the fact of the matter is that if you were fed naturally, you probably had to. A breast was your best friend. So please, and yes, the pun was intended. So people need to calm the fuck down and get over it.
Because breasts are overly sexualized from our own culture.
I mean, not really, but whatever. Anyway, yeah,
depends on you.
Kind of like how in Brazil the shoulders are sexualized.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
That's
I thought they were into booties in Brazil, but hey, what do I know? What was I about to say? I mean, I just think it's kind of unusual that Japan would be like that, considering they have a penis festival. That's a little, really, the nipple is too far, but a penis festival's okay. Man, fuck you.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just gonna say it right now. I would rather see breasts and nipples than a dick. That's all I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be offended by that. I'd be like, oh, that's nice, and just keep on moving.
So moving on from that, so we finally got a teaser trailer for Persona 5R, which is now titled Persona 5: The Royal.
Yeah, and if I had a PS5, I still wouldn't get. I mean, a PS4, I still wouldn't get it. But go ahead.
Well, according to let's see, what was his name? Stealth, a known insider leaker. He's been told from a few people privately that Persona 5 Royal is going to be PS4 exclusive, whereas the vanilla version of Persona 5 will be coming to Switch and PC.
What is Persona 5 Royal or Royale or whatever? Is it a fighting game?
It's supposed to be the updated re-release of Persona 5.
It's not going to sell on the PS4, I'll just tell you that.
Love to do that. Atlas does that all the time. Like, they'll do like an updated version of their Persona games and their Shin Megami Tensei games. They love to do that shit. I'm not sure why, but they do.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's just like the Street Fighter stuff where they just have these increment upgrades and then charge you $20-$30 for stuff that already should have been in the game.
Well, I mean, with the Persona games, that's not really what happens. It's like an alternate version or with extra content. Because generally speaking, those Persona games are pretty full of content, even without the extra shit. And sometimes the re-release version is worse than the original. Like Persona 4 Gold, it's golden. It's the extra content that's added isn't nearly as good as the original version. They changed the voice actors and they added a new dungeon that's not really, all that fun.
Here's something we haven't discussed yet. Nintendo shares crashed after Google Stadia's reveal.
Makes sense. People are worried that Nintendo's going to be fucked, but at the end of the day, here's the thing. All this shit is, at the end of the day, it comes down to what can you play. Like if Nintendo can put out some quality games that you can only play on a Switch, or Nintendo releases a handheld and you can only play on the Switch in the handheld, then they'll be fine. Because at the end of the day, even despite third parties starting to support the Switch more, the highest selling games for the system are still first party games. So, I mean, make of that what you will.
And more Nintendo related news. Super Mario Galaxy only sold 8,000 copies within its first year in mainland China.
I'm not surprised. It's an old game.
Who is?
The game came out last year in China for the first time.
And they probably already pirated it.
Yeah, and it was on a platform that, wasn't exactly a Nintendo console.
And we are talking China here, so...
Yeah. It's on the NVIDIA Shield tablet thing.
And there's rumors regarding Halo, the Master Chief Collection coming to Switch.
I mean, if it did, I'd be surprised. But, not ultra surprised, considering that Microsoft has been doing more and more stuff.
I'm just curious if they might fix any of the problems that the Master Chief Collection had in the original Xbox One version. Because that underperformed when it first released.
What underperformed?
The Master Chief Collection.
Well, it underperformed because it was a broken piece of shit. It underperformed because, they released the Master Chief Collection, which had Halo 1, 2, and 3 with all the content, and it literally played worse than the original versions of the game.
And I wonder if the Switch version might have been able to fix those problems.
Well,
I don't think so. Nintendo can do games, but they can't do miracles.
Nintendo, look. Let me put it this way: this was on Xbox Live, which by many gamers' estimations, Xbox Live is like the best online experience, and Halo Master Chief Collection was a broken piece of shit on that. Now we're talking about Nintendo's online, which now they're charging for, and it isn't that good. So, the Halo Master Chief Collection on that
has at least a better connectivity rate of sorts. At least better than somebody else that I could mention.
Shit. I don't... well, like I said, shit. Yeah. The game could not be broken, but it probably will be just on, GP. General principle, if you will. Do I want it to be broken? No, I don't want any game to be broken, but
And of course, and also Brawl. You guys still remember Brawlhalla, right?
Yeah.
I still got it as something to look at.
They added a new guest character.
Oh.
It's Hellboy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to play that for free.
What's going on?
Hellboy is on Brawlhalla.
Oh. Yeah, they added Hellboy.
Wow.
I can't.
He'll be arriving next month. And it's free to play on Switch eShop.
It's free to play on everything.
Even on Steam?
Yeah. Yeah, it's free to play.
Of course, I'm hoping that this doesn't further inspire Smash fans to keep constantly requesting Goku for Smash, since there's a non-video game character appearing in a Smash Brothers clone, like Brawlhalla.
Here's what I'm going to say to that. How can I put this nicely without sounding like an asshole? Please, 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 for you people who keep on asking for Goku in Smash Brothers, please stop. No one wants. Oh, and if you guys do put
Goku is too unbalanced, unregulated, and bloated.
I have to disagree. I mean, Dragon Ball
FighterZ no way, you're not getting this one, baby. And he's too overrated to even be part of any Brawl game that is short of his own.
No, I'd be cool. I'd be cool with having Goku in Smash Brothers if you had Dragon Ball Goku with his power pole. That'd be because Dragon Ball Goku isn't overpowered. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube and look up Daimao Piccolo versus Goku the first time, where he gets his ass kicked by Daimao Piccolo. And this is significant in Dragon Ball, because if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, it's the first time you see in Dragon Ball someone who can do Dragon Ball Z type attacks, and Goku gets the shit kicked out of him. Like he gets his ass kicked. It's great. It's glorious. It's glorious seeing Goku get his ass kicked. So yeah, if they want to add that Goku, then fine. I'd be cool with it. But sure, yeah, Goku. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, let's just put a bunch of manga characters in a video game character show or video game character game. Because
Goku has been in video games, most of whom have sucked, but he's
here's the thing. Smash Brothers has a no non-video game characters allowed policy.
Okay, fine then. Then don't. I don't give a shit.
Just make a manga-based Super Smash Brothers game.
They did. It's called Shonen Jump All Stars on DS and 3DS,
and Jump Force.
Make another one.
And Jump All Stars sucks, so we won't talk about that.
and there's also Battle Stadium DOM, which is more of a Smash clone than the other Jump crossover games.
But yeah, I mean, really, okay, fine then. Here. I've said this before. I'm gonna name 5 video game characters who should be in Smash Brothers before Goku. Earthworm Jim, Dig Dug. Well, he's a trophy, but as a playable character, Dig Dug. Frogger. Well, he's kind of a trophy too. Not trophy, spirits, whatever the fuck.
No, Frogger is not a spirit, so he still has a chance.
Or there you go, Frogger. The Pac-Man Dot, not the Pac-Man, the Pong Dot. I don't know how you make that into a character, but shit, it deserves to be there.
It's an assist trophy.
Well, that's not really the Atari Dot. That's Nintendo's knockoff Atari Dot for their Channel F. They're not their channel. Their Channel 11, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Channel 11.
Let's see. The 5th character that should be in there before Goku. Okay, fine then. You want to add Goku? Okay, I'll give you Goku. We're gonna add Sun, aka Son Goku, aka Sun Wukong from the Sun video game from Namco Bandai. Namco from back in the day. That's basically the Monkey King. So you basically get to have a character named Son Goku with a power pole and the Celestial Rod. And riding on a cloud, beating up people. So you get Goku, technically the original Goku, the real Goku, who's also a video game character.
Oh,
but that would be Smash Brothers trolling. But considering that it's Sakurai, he likes to troll people anyway. I think that would be the closest you're going to get to having Goku. I'd rather have Earthworm Jim. Just for my own edification, because Earthworm Jim's so badass, you know. My only question is, what would be Earthworm Jim's ultimate smash attack? I don't know. Anyway, anything else before we wrap things up?
It's other than the Mortal Kombat 11 news, like Noob Sailbot being revealed and Shang Tsung being the first DLC character announced.
Noob Sailbot and Shang Tsung with the original voice actor from the movie. It has begun. That poor guy went bald. That's so sad. Because I remember when he used to have a head full of hair. I mean, I don't know. Is anyone excited about Mortal Kombat 11?
Oh, I was just going to try and getting it on the Switch.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's the end of the podcast. Anyone want to pimp anything out before we wrap things up?
one thing I remember that you said interesting with something I posted recently. Do you want to elaborate on it, or do you got something?
It was just interesting because it was a lot of text, and I read through it, and I was like, you made some strides forward, but then you made a few strides back, but overall you were still ahead. So yeah, it was interesting. I'd play your game before I play another mainline Pokemon game though, because I need a break. I need something different. If I have to fight 8 gym leaders and fight my way through the Elite Four and have some type of evil team doing something again, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. I need something different, damn it.
Well, if it helps, the evil team is throughout all the regions, and they're trying to take over the story of each region that they entered.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so Kenoshi, anything you want to pimp out?
No, don't pay $1,000 for a fancier light show. NVIDIA RTX. Yeah.
What you actually bought that?
What? No, I didn't buy it. I'm just saying. I just kind of. It's like you're focusing so heavily on. Oh, let's make lighting look more realistic rather than let's try to make the worlds and the environment and characters act more realistic. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean that's gaming in general. They keep on saying graphics. Man, I don't give a shit.
What graphics? Graphics will never replace gameplay. Can somebody get into their heads?
I mean, at a certain point, I just don't fucking care about graphics anymore. I know some people are gonna get angry, but I don't care.
And I've heard this argument before, and I'm gonna shut it down every single time I hear it. Graphics are maybe the first impression, but that means that people are just gonna see what the gameplay is like then. And if the gameplay is beep, then trust me, no matter how pretty the thing is, you cannot polish beep.
That's true. But anyway, yeah, that's my own personal opinion. I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, "How dare you say that, sir? How dare you?" Well, I don't care. If they don't like it, they don't like it. I don't care. But anyway, that's my own personal opinion. So, yeah. But anyway,
that's about it for tonight. So.
Yeah, that's it. I guess it's time.
Let's make our sign-outs then.
Yeah, so this is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters. You guys know how it is. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. You can reach me on Mr. Red Fox, Matthew Wesley at Mr. Red Fox 91 on Twitter. So there. Yeah. Pinky.
And this is Pinky Down from Video Game Facts, where we talk about facts and opinions within the gamosphere. And that's all I have to say. Other than that, I just recently shared a video review I found regarding a fan-made musical based on Portal 2. When there is no musical based on Portal 1.
I mean, they do. It's where she sings "I'm Still Alive," but
no fan-made musical based on Portal 1.
All right, Kenoshi, anything you want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Nah.
All right. Okay then. So guess we're done. Let me hit the. Oh yeah, and to hell with all third parties, platforms, the exclusivity. You exclusivity motherfuckers. Unless you're making the game yourself, fuck your exclusivity.